نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي اشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह रब्बिल आलमीन। या अल्लाह हमारे लिए हमारे काम को आसान कर दें, ease our affairs, untie the knot of our tongue so that people can understand our talk, and make a helper from our family. You think of your spouse, inshallah, okay? So that make him part of what I'm doing, like make them part of what I'm doing, so that I can do more work, so that I can do more to please Allah SWT. And innaka kunta bina basira, indeed you are watching us. And who is that? Allah SWT. किसकी दुआ थी ये? मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम की दुआ थी, ठीक है? So inshallah we are going to see that how can we have a marvelous Muslim marriage. How many of us would like to have a marvelous Muslim marriage? Yes, triple M? Yes? Okay, so question number one. Question number one. Okay, how many of us are married who are sitting here? Please raise your hand. I'm so enjoying these smiles. They're like, अब तो हम ड्रेस अप होके आगे एंजॉय कर रहे हैं, भूल ही गए कि अच्छा यार वो भी उनको भी छोड़ के आए हैं. Okay, how many of us are engaged who are sitting here and about to get married? One dulhania. One here. Who is that? Okay, alhamdulillah. All right, inshallah. And how many of us would like to live happily ever after? Alhamdulillah. So, all right. So, inshallah, let's begin. We will see how we can live happily ever after with Quran and Sunnah. Okay, you guys want to scoot this way, then I will be happy. I'm not doing my back to you, and I'll be happy that you're watching what's on the screen. So, all of you, can you move on this side, please? Jazakallah khair. And before here, mashallah, you did a lot of effort leaving your house, getting dressed, looking the way beautiful that you are. So inshallah, let's make an intention that we are going to get back to our houses more richer, more fuller, inshallah. So I'm going to take 30 seconds to reset my intention why I'm here, and you can reset your intention why you are here. Okay? Now, first reminder that I would like to give to all and everybody is that dua is always answered. Okay? No matter what you are thinking of your concept of happily ever after, right? Anybody wants to share what is that concept of happily ever after in a Muslim, marvelous Muslim marriage? What should he be doing for you? What do you imagine? Raise your hand. Yes, first comment. Everything. Everything, right? Have you heard that joke that they said that this is a building, you can get the world's best spouses in there. So the person walks in and the first floor says this person is very romantic, and if you need something more you climb one step more up. So somebody goes inside, they're like, okay, let me check the next floor, what is up on the next floor, and they say this person is romantic and he takes care of house chores very well. So, and they say, oh wow, that's cool, I would like somebody like that. And then they say, go to the next, like you can keep upgrading, you can go to the next floor. And they said, you next floor, this person is going to be very romantic, take care of you, take care of the house chores, plus you take care of children. So you're like, wow, that's cool. And then if you need some more, then you go to next floor. So they go to the next floor, and there's like this person very romantic. He can take care of you. He can take care of your chores. This person can take care of your children. Plus, he will have a very handsome salary, right? So if you need something more, you go to the next floor. And then this floor says this person is very good, romantic, takes care of all this. Plus, he knows how to balance between his in-law, his family, and your family. So he knows how to balance that out. And then I say, if you need something more, you can go to the next floor. And what happens on the next floor is like, welcome back to reality. You know, you are being too picky. So, but remember, this marvelous Muslim marriage is perfectly possible. And dua is always answered. If you are visualizing that marvelous Muslim marriage, then remember that dua is always answered. Whatever you are planning on doing, whatever you would like to see, start visualizing it. Start visualizing it. Visualizing success creates success. All right. We visualize this and we are here, alhamdulillah. Right. So dua is always answered. Number one, you get it right away. You asked for it, you got it. Number two, you get it with a delay. There's some timing involved. Maybe you're not engaged yet. Maybe it happens in a little while. All right. Maybe the first marriage does not work out. Maybe it works out with the second marriage. Right. Number three, some harm is moved away. Maybe you never find that dream man. But because of your du'as for a marvelous Muslim marriage, Allah SWT is putting a lot of good, is saving you from a lot of trouble. And the best of all, you get it on the judgment day. So have that belief. And even sitting here right now, let's engage in zikr of Allah SWT and let's remind ourselves with du'as. Okay? So keep calm and make dua, dream it, dua it, and let's start off with a very beautiful dua. Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqa warzuqna ittiba'ahu wa arina al-batila batila warzuqna ijtinabahu. Oh Allah, help us see the right as right and give us the ability to follow it. And oh Allah SWT, help us see wrong as wrong and give us the ability to avoid it. So we are going to be doing that here. I'm going to pass this around from here because many people, most of you I know sitting here know a lot of things. You know way more than I do. Okay? But it's time to show what we know. Can you all repeat that? It's time to show what we know. So when I will say knowledge demands, what are you going to say? Action. Let's try it out. Knowledge demands? Action. Knowledge demands? Action. Just before walking into this house, I just got, like last night I was sitting with my mother-in-law on the phone and a wedding was happening in my home country. One of my family members was getting married. And I was just reflecting, if we know everything and we do the things that the way we are doing, who is going to be blamed? How can we say that there's so much mehngai and this is so much this and that when we continue to do what we are doing, like marriages and everything? And then I looked at Hashmi's invitation one more time and I was like talking to everybody over there and I was like, this is also how weddings can happen, right? The wedding can be happening at a masjid also. I have a beautiful invitation in February for a wedding at Haram. And I took a permission from them that can I advertise this? Like I'm not going to invite everybody, but I just want to advertise this. And this is also people can start their life. This husband and wife are going to be wed at the door of the Kaaba. They're going to get wed and then they move on in their life. The sweets will be just dates and water and they move on. And these are real people. I'm not talking about fancy, like somebody not there. So in Sha Allah, what we're going to do is I'm going to pass out the pencils. I'll be passing out a paper that says marriage. What is marriage? There is a paper coming in front of you and you will just add something. If you write to sign it with your name, most welcome. If you don't, that's completely okay. So you can be just open. It's advice to the couple, not just yours, to us too. Okay, we're going to benefit from that too, inshallah. And cost of wedding. Does anybody know how much a wedding dress costs these days? Anybody who wants as a very recent experience can tell me? Yes, raise your hand. You're smiling. Raise your hand. It's time to show what you know. Okay, $1. I'm just a little bad at math, so I'm not able to convert it. 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. Okay. Yes, anybody wants to say a number from here? Isn't that craziness? Yes? Isn't that craziness? Like what we are hearing, I just heard that one of the shawl, like a shawl which was bought, was 45,000 rupees. Just like a shawl, a coverall shawl. That's it. Nothing fancy about it. Okay. And when we will talk about wedding, it's very important to know what is divorce. Okay. So that we don't have to go there. It's very, very important that we do that. So I'm going to pass some pencils since I have a helper here, mashallah. You're going to take a set like this and if you can just pass them around. Or you know what, we can do it. I can pass just a pencil and the paper. Right? Like this. So I don't have to pass all the pencils here. So go ahead. I'm going to give, since you guys are very young sitting on my this side, I'm going to give you the cost of wedding. And you can talk about the dress, you can talk about the venue, you can talk about the groom's dress. I had a chance to shop last week in Chicago and it was hardly different to tell this is the men's section, this is the women's section. The sherwanis were like, so, like I would just pick out and I was like, oh, this is boy stuff. Oh, there's like so much going on it. So it's like this, all this Banarsi and all this was in the male section also. So inshallah, we will do that parallelly while we benefit. Okay, did I tell that you guys can do a group talk while writing it? No. So one person writes, and if you get, since you have, can you have something to put underneath it to pass? That'd be really nice, inshallah. I have one thing, so I can pass this. Can you start passing this from here? Whatever you want to feel like writing. Don't write full sentences, just a little thing, whatever you feel like. Anybody has any input as to what is to be written in this? For example, marriage. I'll take one volunteer to say marriage. What will you write here? Give me an example. Anybody? Thank you. So you want to write happiness. Marriage is happiness. It's not tedious. It completes your faith. So inshallah that will happen. Can you start passing this from here? Okay. And let's start from here, inshallah. Advice, senior advice, inshallah. You tell me whatever you know. Whatever you know, whatever you want to write, maybe anything. Maybe you have seen somebody going through that. Anything. You can use this much space, this much space. You get an idea? Anything. And you can use the backside also if you run out of space. All right, so inshallah, we are going to start, and this is happening silently. You're not consulting with anybody. You're just writing your own opinion. You're not consulting with anybody. If nothing comes to your mind, then you keep going forward. But this paper will show how much we know and how much we show, because knowledge demands action. Wow, I see one paper has reached all the way to the end blank. So let's see. Alright, inshallah, we are going to start with the dua for Hashmeen, that Barakallahu lakuma, wa barik alaykuma, wa jama bainakuma fi khair. May Allah SWT unite Hashmeen and her spouse in khair. Okay? You can join her for a lot of reasons, but coming together for goodness is something incredible. Right? May Allah SWT keep you united on khair in this dunya, and may Allah SWT keep you reunited in only relationship that will be preserved in Jannah. Only relationships. I laugh at my husband. I'm like, I'm sorry. This is the only way. You get me. Like, so if you're good, I'm also good, then we get there. And he's like, okay. So, Hashmeen and Isa, may Allah SWT unite you here, and inshallah. Now, I have been researching on these topics a lot because I'm a mother of 3 kids. I have twins and a teenager, so I'm really interested in these topics. And what I've seen is that a marvelous Muslim marriage and a purposeful, positive parenting are directly connected with each other. All right. So whenever, like even today, when I got into my car and I was about to drive here, the internet connection was lost. And I was like, directions to Samina's house. And it's like, sorry, bad connection. And me and Hadia were like, okay, what are we doing? How are we going to get there? And then I called one of the person, and then eventually I texted my husband that I need to get here. I need directions because text was still working. And then he called, and I was like to Hadia, I love Abu Jani, like he's there. Like he's there to provide support whenever it's needed. So these are interconnected. And whenever I appreciate my husband, I so appreciate my mother-in-law. Because she is the one who did all that upbringing, and then she passed him on to me. So yesterday, me and her were on the phone talking in the night, and we were talking about somebody, and she told me that that cousin, she told me that her husband, this is his second marriage, and I was like, really? I never knew that this was his second marriage. And because I'm first sitting over there, and he started smiling, and I was like, you know what? आपके बेटे मुस्कुरा रहे हैं. So she was saying man cannot handle two बेचारे बुराई करते हैं तो दो कर लेते हैं. So he started smiling, and I was like, so I was like, I'm not even on the speakerphone, and how can you smile at this topic? You men are just like this, So it is really important that we value the parenting which is done even in your spouse, okay, even before your progeny comes forward. So these two are really interconnected. So inshallah, may realize that. So while we are here, we are not a video. I'm not a YouTube video. I'm not a. You can't like pause me or play me or this. We are all here. We are all managing all these things in our life. Okay. So what I want you to feel is we are entering a safe zone. When you have this paper in front of you, write whatever you feel like writing. You don't have to write your name. It's completely safe to write whatever you feel like writing. It's like you have it, you have it, you have it. You know? So completely okay to say, and completely okay to interrupt, and completely okay to share what you would like to share, what's working in your life. Mashallah, यहाँ पे we have some people जिनके बच्चे जवान हैं, वो already शादियां कर चुके हैं, they have a lot of experience. So when you come to such gatherings, please try to learn from them. Those who have already gone through that part. Right? He's looking at me so cute, mashallah. So ask them and they will have advice. So inshallah, what kind of advice we have for why, what, when, and how. Okay. So the number thing here who have been bombarded with the notions that single is the way to go. Oh, I don't care. I don't need to be answerable. This is my life. Why should I care? Right? 2 days back, my cleaning lady was here. She said she was on phone with her 16-year-old daughter at 4 o'clock in the night just because she has turned 16. She has started going to high school. So she doesn't want grandma to ask, why are you coming late? Who are you hanging out with? And she was miserable because she said, I don't want to live anymore because I don't want to answer these people. And then when such mindset gets into a marriage, it doesn't work. And then what happens, I thought people in the mosque would not know what's happening. But that's where you start seeing the reality of the life because you start seeing all those cases coming in front of you. This week, one of my friends called me from California and she said, how is the community in Atlanta? What do you think? Should we ask people to move to Atlanta? Yes, maybe no. Who is happy here? Lock your answers. Move to Atlanta? No. Oh no, don't come here. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah. Don't come here? No? Where should they go? Too crowded here? Too many people. Traffic is really bad. Every time I used to go to Delta Airlines, I was like, oh, thank God I'm working from home. So traffic is really bad. That's true. So she said, California, we are doing a janaza almost every week for a young kid who went to bed and he didn't wake up in the morning. And she's saying for this teenager, nobody is questioning that what did this teenager do? What was this person doing last night that this happened? Right? What did he eat? What did he drink? What was given to him? Was he last hours? What happened? So it's very important that I read this hadith to you of Abdullah bin Masud radiallahu anhu. He reported that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "O young men, the young people among you who can support a wife should marry, for it restrains eyes from casting evil glances." We have to be answerable even for what we are watching. Even if it's TikTok, even if it's Snapchat, even if it's Fortnite, even if it's anything that you're watching, you have to be so mindful of what you're, even it's Roblox, some of you are young. So you have to see what your eyes are watching. And it preserves one from immorality. But he who cannot afford it should observe fasting, for it is a means of controlling the sexual desires. So they should at least be fasting. And today, on behalf of all the young girls sitting here, I will tell to the parents, please stop thinking that, oh, my son will start earning, then I'm going to get this person married. And oh, my daughter, like some daughters are being pushed, like as soon as you're married, you just get married. Both are opposite extremes that we're working at it sometimes. If they are not getting married, we feel them as a burden in our society or something like that. And on the other hand, we boys, we don't want to get them married because they don't have that much cash flow coming in. Right? So it's really important that we come back to the words of the Prophet ﷺ and do marriages at the right appropriate time. So even last time my mother-in-law was saying, like my brother-in-law who's getting married this December, she said he got a 20% raise. And she said, wow, like just because he's getting married, so the girl who is coming, she's already sending her rizq there and she will be fine. And I'm like, yeah, alhamdulillah. So preservation of marriage. So when should then marriage in Islam is half of deen. It's a form of ibadah. I just want to see the time. And this is the dua, inshallah. We'll go through it more detail later. So that we have it. And it's very important that we know what is a relationship and what is a marriage. If the nikah is not done, you're not mahram for each other. No matter what the society is telling you. Since parents are too busy with social media, you now have to find your spouses on your own and you think it's perfectly okay to sit in an MSA with a boy and a girl and do whatever is happening right now these days, but it's not correct. So relationship has you're doing. So please evaluate where you are right now. Everybody can think of their own self. If you have a phone, you can start writing in your own self. Where do I think I have, and where do I think I want to be, right? So I want to do. So the marvelous Muslim marriage advice number one that I gave you a few minutes back is what? Can anybody tell me what was the advice? Number one. Hmm? Happiness. What was the advice? I'll give you a clue. Dream it, dua it, and then do it. Okay, so whatever you are aiming for, dua it. We start doing it before even we dua it. So please dua, like, you for that. Now we're gonna talk about certain things which are there in marvelous Muslim marriage. And again, as I said, we are sitting in a safe zone. If you feel like, I know we are limited on time, so we cannot take very lengthy comments in, but definitely if you have something that, oh yeah, this works, then please give it so it benefits everybody. Or else you have the sheet of paper coming with you, go ahead and write it over there. So the number one thing is that know your spouse feelings. Any comments on that? Anybody wants to share anything? Okay, Rasulullah SAW has an Aisha radiallahu anha, right? And Rasulullah said that, Aisha, I know when you're angry with me and when you're happy with me, right? How? No, because she used to use a different way of approaching Rasulullah SAW when she's happy, and she would say the Prophet Rasulullah, and then when she's like, so he's like, I know when you're happy and when you're angry, right? So, you know what he said, when you are pleased with me, you say no by the Lord of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and when you're angry with me, then you say no by the Lord of Ibrahim alayhi salam, and thereby I know that you are right, but by Allah and Allah's messenger, I have nothing but your name. I leave nothing but your name. So she said, I leave nothing but your name. Like, even at that level, I just leave nothing but your name only. So know your spouse feeling. It's something. The third advice that you have is console each other. Be there for each other. Just stop for a few minutes and just appreciate what somebody is doing, right? You are working hard, the other person is working hard. Just take some moments to appreciate each other. Okay? And this is something this is something very important. Rasulullah SAW said, and this is a hadith in Tirmidhi, that nothing is placed on the scale that is heavier than good character. Ikhlaq. Right? Sometimes you may be making the most delicious tea ever, but you can be presenting, here you go. you you can be washing the clothes and getting the room clean and everything. They're like, I always have to do this much, right? So you can be doing it. So know when to console and do the right things. Don't forget that you are a husband and wife. Now it's perfectly okay to touch each other. It's perfectly okay to be intimate with each other. Rasulullah SAW would be reciting Quran, against the lap in the Aisha radiallahu anha. He would be there, right? Even in the about ministration, some people have so many doubts, and when we come to the Quran and Sunnah, we find that it's perfectly okay. A lot of things. So have that connection with your spouse. It's very, very important to have that connection. Okay, and the physical touch means a lot. Even with your children, even with your other family members, that touch sometimes makes wonders compared to. And even if you're angry, they say now that when you are angry, just hold the other person's hand and just stare at each other for 3 seconds. It will just melt away. Try this, okay? Anybody has tried that? Yes? Yes? Okay. Now eat and drink from the same cup. Anybody here who has done that? Raise your hand. MashaAllah, share your. Yes, look at. Okay, I can only. Oh. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. The problem is we only have 2 years, right? So we can only listen to one person, and one courageous person raise their hand. Okay.
In my in-laws, when I got married, and the thing the spouse it was kind of awkward for me, but I really loved it.
And it's still continuing?
Yes.
How many years?
For me,
15 years. So anybody needs to know how to do it, please go to Rukat, inshallah, alright? So she can explain how we can do it in today's. Oh, really? So everybody's sitting together, and then you have like a common. So it's a special vessel you need to have in your house, right? Yeah. Thal. Thal, right? Right? Anybody here who is eating or together from one plate? Okay, we are gonna stay together, so please one person at one time. Otherwise, you will not be served food. Okay.
So I was just telling that if my husband is sharing tea or water with me, so he takes a sip on the same spot where I took it, and that's sunnah.
That's the sunnah of the Prophet. All right, that's the sunnah of the Prophet, and it takes an effort to be at that level. It's a conditioning of the heart. It's a happily ever after home. May Allah SWT bring us to that level. Kissing. This is something really important that I need to talk about. And why is that? Because our kids are watching this, seeing that. Even we had a program yesterday called I Am a Believer, right? And it was about videos and things, and I was working on them. And this morning I just happened to open Shrek, and they had a song called I Am a Believer. And even there is kissing involved in that scenes and all those things. But where it is legally allowed, there if we talk about it, we are like, oh, gross, or something like this, or right? And our kids are coming up in a way in which the kind of materials that they're reading, what is right is shown as completely wrong, and what is wrong is completely shown so right. That's why it's so important that we I'm going to switch on this side and you can keep going. Mashallah, great things that I get here. Marriage is a blessing, is a favorite act in dunya. I'll keep taking it forward, inshallah. And so it's really, really important that you know that. Okay, and this is not something that you just have to do like hidden or something. How many anybody would like to share a family ritual that they may have in their life in which they kiss each other for goodbye? Like I can share from my family, like we make sure, like before we start a day or before I exit the door, I just say, or sometimes we even say, should I go? And they're like, oh, of course, you can see that you're going, right? But at least it brings a smile on somebody's face, and we hug each other, we kiss each other, and then we leave the room. You want to share?
Even in our family, before going to bed, all the kids, both the kids come in our room.
They have to kiss, like kiss me good night. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I know a very good family. He's mashallah like a very role model in our Atlanta community. His daughter got married because of watching a family kissing each other. So, I get really excited when somebody tells me somebody's getting married. So I get like super excited about it. I don't know why, but I get very excited about it. So when he told me like her daughter was like 19 or something when she get married, if I'm not wrong. So I was like so excited, like, how did you do that? So he said, we went on an Islamic convention or something like this, like a setting, and we went there, and I'm sitting there, and I saw a boy, and he came and he met his father. I'm gonna use your hand. So he came to his father, and he just picked his hand and he did it like that, right? And then he sat next to his father, and he said we made dua at that time that I need a son-in-law like that, right? Who can do like this, and that boy is now his son-in-law. Subhanallah, it works. And this family, if I take the name, you all know this family. You all know this family. I'm very confident you all know this family. So kissing works, inshallah. Okay, so please, what open in expressing love, not only to your spouse, but to everybody who you love for the sake of Allah SWT. All right. If you love somebody for the sake of Allah SWT, let them know that I love you for the sake of Allah SWT. All right. Now the next is lifting a morsel. Where is the paper from here? This is still here. It has to come back on this side. Inshallah. Cost of wedding is here. Let me just see. Half your 401k. $80,000. Wedding is very extraordinary too. Then I had one mom crying in my district. She can't get her son married because she's saying the daughter-in-law, when she walks into her house, she's gonna ask me for two dresses, and it's just gonna be a divorce because we can't afford those two Alkhan or Falans dresses. So this is not gonna work. So her son is getting older. She is getting older. She can't get her. I know this boy. He's a very good boy. And she says, I can like pay the rent, get the groceries, do this, or I'm gonna have this. And yesterday I heard one lipstick is like $35 if you go to a good brand or things like that. I was like, wow. Hmm? Say it again. Subhanallah. So this is beautiful. So I'll keep moving it forward. I think mashallah you guys know more. Okay, lifting a morsel. Is there anybody who can share last time your husband picked up a thing and gave you a bite or cooked something for you? Anybody here? High five. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So we don't want to make them work, but at the same time, like they can be together, right? Huh? He never did, but now he's doing. Give us your secret now. Your secret. Okay, because I know another family in which he started doing it. You know why? Because the dechka fell on the foot of the lady. So now she is in like crutches, and the bhai was like walking around with her. I was like, "You guys look beautiful," and he's like, "Yeah." I said, "I'll cook for you. I'll do everything for you." And I'm like, "Okay." Sometimes, and she was like, "Oh, I broke this," and I'm like, "It's okay. It's a blessing in disguise. Enjoy your being a queen now. He's doing everything for you." So I hope you don't have to do that to get and help in household chores. So moms who are raising boys, please teach them that they have to be part of doing this thing. I really thank my mother-in-law that I don't have to stress through this. My husband, mashallah, like he fully cooperates with me. We do things together and it's beautiful. And the thing which makes me the most angry these days is when I see him doing something and my son sitting and doing something like his study-wise things. And I'm like, what use is this? If you're not, your father is standing there and you are just sitting there, that doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If you have a 4 GPA, you are in a God knows which university you get to or whatever you do. I cannot live with that. So this one is coming back. Okay, so I cannot live with that. So I really, really, I lose my mind at that point. And it was heartbreaking when I visited my one of my doctor, and her husband is dying out of cancer, and she says her son says that I can't stay in the house because it's so depressive. So he is having party time outside the house, right? Because he can't see the dad dying and he's partying outside. So may Allah SWT protect us and raise generations which can be true to each other. Now, take places, sometimes feel for each other roles, right? So I got a tire punctured or something. I had to walk to a place, and then now, for last 2 weeks, every place I'm looking, I'm like, wow, there are a lot of tire places. There's a lot. Like tires itself is a good industry. I'm just driving and something just poked into it, and it was a big thing. And I was like, sometimes you need to take places, do something that your husband does. Go blow the lawn and you realize how much hard work it is, right? Or just sit there and watch him do his office work and you're like, wow, they go through a lot. Today I'm going to do a board of review for my Boy Scouts today. So I'll be going there just to see what my son goes through, because Boy Scouts is a lot of work. I thought it's just they're just doing fun and that's it. But today I want to go and see it, because what they're doing and their ranking and how they do it, and it was a whole science to it. I was like, wow, sometimes you just take places to appreciate the other person, what they're going through. All right. And the husband, when they or biryani or something, they can appreciate you. Now dress up for your spouse. Please, ladies, don't take off your clothes right as you enter. Right? Be there. Allah. So inshallah, pay attention to the way you dress. Is that on somebody's phone? Asaf. So pay attention to your spouse and attend to his needs. Idea. And do not discuss spouse secrets. Whatever happens behind the doors, that's between you and your husband. This morning I was having this conversation with my son. Now you are in a completely new world you guys are living, right? So you can open hangout and you're connected with your friends in a second. And this is what I was talking to my children, that when I'm in my home, I want to feel safe. I don't want to know that I'm being broadcasted everywhere or something. I want to be safe. So if you are turning microphones on or you're talking to somebody, I want to feel safe at that time. So same thing. Your husband and wife, it's an institution. It's a whole institution. It's a whole community in there, because that's your legacy. That's what you're leaving behind. So make sure you do not, discuss spouse secrets. If there's something between your husband and wife that needs to be discussed, get your kids, like get them, and then take time for both of you to discuss that. Okay, take time, respect each other's family. It's very, very important. Respect to get respect, and the most of all, be thankful for each other. All right. Rasulullah said, whoever does not thank people has not thanked Allah SWT. And the most worthy of respect, like in the world, like you have, like for husband, there's so many attributes that you can learn. So be thankful for each other. Just thankful, right? We have a joke like you are a gem, right? So have something going on together. And this is something so beautiful, Hashmin. You can start your life by praying together. Okay? 2 rakahs together, like start together, be together. There are du'as, inshallah, we'll talk about save each other from sins. Busy each other with good deeds. Save each other from sins. If you're not going to busy yourself with khair, then the shar will take you over. Because then you will have free time and be like, okay, I'm going to watch this movie because I have nothing else to do, right? So if you keep each other happily busy with, things like, so that's going to save you from sin. Really important. One-to-one time together is so crucial. Anybody wants to share if they have like a set pattern in which they make sure that they have this time together? Anybody?
We try and have a date night once a week.
Once in a week?
We call it a date night where we will then go out to eat or something one week. I decide the next week.
Well, that's what I was about to ask. Who decides where to go? Because that stresses you out more than. That's so beautiful. And do you know like what day it's like, a weekday, weekend? Or?
It's a week.
It's a weekday because there's things happening on weekend and then it will just not happen because every week something comes up. So I like this that she has it on a weekday and there's a date time and she is able to go together. That's beautiful. And compete together in good deeds, right? So we just got, we were doing this semester, we were doing something amazing with our kids and we finished it. So as a gift, we ordered for our kids Segway. And just before it just came in and, when I climbed on it and I was like wobbling and he was making fun of me, like he's going to fall down. And I was like, okay, now you get on. And let's see. And he was not able to do it because it takes time to figure out how to Segway because it just keeps moving. It was so hard. Like kids can with each other, okay? And don't make it a too like make it a me. Don't make it a me environment. Make it a we environment. It's not like मैंने आपको call किया. No, हम आपको call कर रहे थे. So if you call your mother-in-law or something, don't say मैं call रही हूँ. हम आपके बारे में बात कर रहे थे. हम आपको call कर रहे थे, right? हम बात कर रहे थे. So हम is better than me. And the husband and wife are garments for each other, just like a garment fits when it's completely that looks beautiful. Allah SWT says in Surah Baqarah, hunna libasul lakum wa antum libasul lahun. And nobody looks like a sane person will not look nice before without a dress. Now you have these environment in which they say, oh, you don't need dress anymore, right? But a sane person, and a nikah is from, if you keep that intention, then it is a, so it's a reward. You're stamping it with a reward. So alhamdulillah. And let's say consciously we can all say this together. Rabbana hablana min azwajina wa zurriyatina qurrata a'yun waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Inshallah. And we will do the du'as no more, and knowledge action. So inshallah, you are going to make sure that you add these in your life. Inshallah, call your husband, do something for them. And amongst the treasures of the world, the most, the best treasure is a righteous wife. So just be one. Life starts today, so choose to submit your creator. Whatever happened happened, जो हो गया सो हो गया, right? But आज जब आप वापस जाएंगे तो वो आपसे पूछे तभी ठीक है. आज बड़े अच्छे हो गए. Inshallah we'll move on to the dua session. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi Can you pass it on? Can you pass it on there? So, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I will try as much as I can. I should be louder, but please, sorry about the voice. Okay. Uh, so inshallah, everyone is ready. We will do inshallah few duas. Alhamdulillah, our deen is a complete deen, right? Everybody agrees? Yes. Alhamdulillah. In what sense is complete? In what sense you can define it as a complete deen? Why? Yes, Sister Reena.
It gives us information on all aspects.
Very good, Alhamdulillah, ji Rufat. Al-yawma akmaltu lakum deenukum. Yeah, what was that day when Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, okay, Yawm Arafah, and the last Hajj when Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did it, और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह 10 हिजरी में ये बात यही थी कि हमारा दीन कंप्लीट दीन है, our deen is the complete deen. जी शमी भाई. Okay, alhamdulillah. So deen is about life, alhamdulillah. To be successful in dunya and also in akhirah. Is the deen only for only this age of people or this age of people, this age of people? For everyone, right? Alhamdulillah. It's for everyone. Everyone can take an advice. Everyone takes nasiha. Ad-deenu nasiha. हमारा दीन क्या है? नसीहत है. और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह जिस तरह से हम दीन को अगर डिफाइन करें, दीन में क्या चीजें आ जाती हैं? कुरान एंड सुन्ना. कहाँ से हम गाइडेंस लेंगे? कुरान से लेंगे, सुन्ना से लेंगे इंशाल्लाह. So alhamdulillah, these duas, these pamphlet which you have in your hands are the few duas from the Quran and from the Sunnah of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, जो कि अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमारे दीन, हमारी जिंदगियों में और ख़ास तौर से हमें और हमारे घर वालों में ये बहुत मदद करेंगी. These duas inshallah. This will be really really helpful inshallah. We'll go over these duas inshallah, especially on this special occasion of inshallah Hajj means Nikah inshallah. So सबसे पहले we'll start with वजअलना बैनकुम मवद्दतन व रहमा. About the relationship of marriage, Allah SWT tells us, informs us in Quran कि Allah SWT ने बनाया है इस रिश्ते में क्या चीज डाल दी है? मोहब्बत और रहमत. What is muhabba and what is rahma? What is mawadda and what is rahma?
Okay, yes, love and mercy अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। और वो भी कौन सा मवद्दत, वो कौन सा मोहब्बत है, अटूट एक दूसरे के साथ बहुत पक्की मोहब्बत, क्योंकि बिकॉज these are not the blood relations, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in their hearts, and this is a special type of relation, alhamdulillah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala added love, compassion and mercy between you. About the husband and wife, this special relation Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts in there. And then inshallah we see help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We make the dua that, like Justice Sister Alhamdulillah Juwaria reminded us, advised us that dream it and dua it and make it happen inshallah. So we'll inshallah ta'ala dream about that, alhamdulillah, that perfect relationship, the marvelous marriage and marvelous happy life inshallah, ever after in dunya, and that the same relationship takes us to Jannah together inshallah. We'll help each other inshallah and takes us to Jannah together. So inshallah we'll go ahead with the dua, which usually when the couples, like when the couples get married, alhamdulillah, we say this dua to Hashmeen and also inshallah ta'ala to everyone who gets married, that barakallahu, this is the sunnah dua, barakallahu laka wa barakallahu alayka jama'a bainakuma fi khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and bless your counterpart and bless, may Allah tie your union with the virtue inshallah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. And this is the special dua for husband and wife relationships. And this is one of the important dua. And also there is one more dua which Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught us. Like this is not in this one, but that is Allahumma, when you buy a new car, when you get married, the husband says the dua for the wife, or when anything is big happening, and something like a house is bought or something, merchandise is bought. That dua also we say, Allahumma inni as'aluka khairaha wa khaira ma jabaltahu alayhi. وأعوذ بك من شر وشر وأعوذ بك من شر وشر إلا ما جبلته عليك. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect from the help us to gain the khair from for which this thing is made, or for which he is like made, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from the shar of the thing which is made. Okay, so this is also one more dua, alhamdulillah, that is also one sunnah. And Bismillah Allahumma jannibna shaytana wa jannibi shaytana ma razaqtana, ये वो दुआ है जो कि नस्लों दर नस्ल अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह शैतान के फितरों से, शैतान के शर से हिफाजत फरमाती है. Another dua inshallah we'll say, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us inshallah, that Rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa dhurriyyatina qurrata a'yun waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. That ओ अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला, हमारे रब बना दीजिए हमारे अज़वाज को, हमारे स्पाउसेस को और हमारी औलाद को क्या बना दीजिए, कूल सफ़ाइस कुर्रत आयुन, एंड बना दीजिए उनको और हम सबको, वजअलना हम सबको, लिलमुत्तक़ीना इमामा, रहनुमा नहीं बल्कि रहनुमाओं के भी रहनुमा, जो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हिदायत के रास्ते पे लोगों को हिदायत का रास्ता बता सके. And here is muttaqina imama, especially at the time of nikah. Alhamdulillah, the khutbah which is read, okay, which makes the relationship halal, it has a reminder 4 times of the taqwa. That when you get married, remember that the whole life you are going to spend with taqwa. With what is taqwa? Like fear and love both, alhamdulillah, exactly, कि अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला नाराज ना हो जाए उस चीज की वजह से. Okay, so fear and love both, alhamdulillah. So God conscious होके जीना, that is the whole basis of mashallah married life, right? So alhamdulillah, here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala कि हमारे अज़वाज को भी और हमारी ज़ुर्रियत एंड हमारे चिल्ड्रंस को भी और ऑफस्प्रिंग्स को भी अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला लिलमुत्तक़ीना इमामा, मुत्तक़ीन के इमाम बना. सिर्फ मुत्तक़ीन नहीं बल्कि उनके भी इमाम बने हम लोग. आमीन या रब्बल आलमीन. रब्बी हबली मिन लदुनका ज़ुर्रियतन तय्यिबतन इन्नका समीउद दुआ. है हमारे रब अता करिए हमारे लिए अपने पास से ज़ुर्रियतन तय्यिबतन, good offspring. So may Rab grant me the righteous offsprings as your special favor, and indeed you are the hearer of the supplications. Amen. Zurriyatan tayyibatan neko. और इवन ज़करिया अलैहिस्सलाम ने भी एक दुआ मांगी थी ना कि वजअलहुली मिल्लद उनका, no, I think it was the radiya something, वजअलहुली रब्बी radiya. So that dua was like वजअलहु रब्बी रदिया, कि अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला फहबली मिन लदुनका वलियन, कि अपने पास से एक वली मुझे अता फरमा दीजिए, And then waj'alhu rabbi radiyan, कि अल्लाह सुब्हानहू तआला तो इससे राजी भी हो जाए. Do we really make this dua for our kids? We really have to do it. वजअलहु रब्बी रदियन, कि अल्लाह मेरी औलाद से तू राजी हो जाए. Alhamdulillah, Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Rabbi la tazarni farda wa anta khairul warithin. One of the beautiful dua, Alhamdulillah. My Lord, do not leave me alone without any waris, while you are the best of the inheritors. आप सबसे बेहतरीन वारिसीन हैं, तो grant me the वारिसीन इंशाअल्लाह. And Rabbi habli minas salihin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the children who are really, really salih, who are good. Alhamdulillah. Another dua from the Sunnah, Rabbi ja'alni muqima salati wa min zurriyati. ربنا وتقبل دعاء ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make us establish the prayers and make from our descendants that they also establish the prayers. And our Lord, accept from us our supplications, and our Lord, forgive us and our parents and the believers on the day of judgment. Amin ya Rabbal Alameen. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. I am pretty sure that everyone knows this dua, alhamdulillah, and everyone have memorized this dua, and they make it daily, 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 and they make it must in their prayers. My Lord, have mercy upon our parents as they have brought me up when we were small. The beautiful, beautiful du'as from the Sunnah, Alhamdulillah. The next page, if you can see, these are the very beautiful du'as, Alhamdulillah, which ties, which keep ourselves and which can make our good character, good akhlaq more and more and more beautiful, inshallah. How many of you know these du'as? Already have memorized? Quickly. Mashallah, Shivin Baji. I can beg you, you know all the du'as, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. और शरीफ बाजी का जब भी तस्वर करते सोचते भी हम अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, तो आई ऑलवेज थिंक कि कितनी दुआएं देती है माशाल्लाह. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सुभान अल्लाह सब दुआओं को कबूल करे. और कभी भी लिटरली बदुआ या किसी के लिए बैड कुछ भी नहीं बोलना चाहिए, क्योंकि हमें नहीं पता होता कि कब कौन सी दुआ कबूल हो जाती है. तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह जब ऑलवेज दुआ देते हैं तो पता नहीं कब कितनी दुआ कबूल होती होगी, राइट. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. सो एनीवन एल्स? शमीम बाजी, आपके लिए बहुत सारी चॉकलेट्स, क्योंकि आपने ही मेमोराइज की है सो मेनी दुआस इंशाल्लाह. कैन यू पास इट टू मी? Jazakallah khair. Okay, so inshallah we'll just read this dua inshallah very quickly. So this dua is like Allahumma alif baina qulubina Allahumma alif baina qulubina wa aslih zata bainina wahdina subul salam. क्या मीनिंग है इसका, हम इसमें देख लेते हैं उर्दू में. अल्लाहुम्मा अलिफ बैना कुलूबिना, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू तआला, हम साथ में मांग भी लेते हैं, ठीक है. अल्लाह सुब्हानहू तआला उल्फत डाल दीजिए हमारी दिलों में. व्हाट इज उल्फत? अल्लाह सुब्हानहू तआला put affection among our hearts. लव, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, लव, मोहब्बत, समझ बूझ एक दूसरे की, राइट. उल्फत डाल दीजिए हमारे दिनों में. और वह असलिह ज़ाता बैनिना, और हमारे सारे मैटर्स की इस्लाह कर दीजिए. एंड सेट राइट अवर मैटर्स बिटवीन अवरसेल्व्स. वह दीना सुबुल सलाम, एंड गाइड अस टू द स्ट्रेट पाथ, सुबुल सलाम की तरफ लेकर जाइए. वह जन्नत व नज्जना मिनज़ ज़ुलुमाति इला नूर, एंड बचा लीजिए, प्रोटेक्ट अस फ्रॉम द डार्कनेस टुवर्ड्स द लाइट, और लाइट की तरफ हमें लेके जाइए. वह जन्नत फवाहिश मा ज़हरा मिनहा व बतन वमा बतन, and uh, and the apparent as well as save us from all kinds of indecencies, the apparent as well as the hidden one. वबारिक लना फी अस्माइना, और हमारे समातों में बरकत डाल दीजिए, हमारे अब्सार में देखने में बरकत डाल दीजिए, हमारे दिलों में बरकत डाल दीजिए, हमारे अज़वाज में, हमारे स्पाउसेस में बरकत डाल दीजिए. वज़ुर्रियातिना, हमारे बच्चों में बरकत डाल दीजिए. वतुब अलैना इन्नका अंता तव्वाबुर रहीम, और तू भी बेहतरीन तौबा को कबूल करता है. और you are the one who is repeatedly merciful. Another dua which is like we are asking Allah SWT for the best in all the worlds. Allahumma aslih fi dini ladhi wa ismat wa amri. Allah SWT हमारी इस्लाह कर दीजिए दीन में, जहाँ पर हमारी इस्लाह कर दीजिए हमारे दीन में, जहाँ पर हमारी क्या चीज़ है, which is the guard of our इसमत की हिफाजत करने वाला है. What are we asking Allah SWT in this way? God us all matters. क्या दीन दुरुस्त हो जाएंगे, सारी चीजें दुरुस्त हो जाएंगी? Yes. क्योंकि दीन के अंदर कामयाबी जो है वो हमारी आखिरत की भी कामयाबी है, हमारे टोटल जहाँ पर हम जाने वाले हैं वहाँ की भी कामयाबी है, और दीन की भी कामयाबी है तो दुनिया की भी कामयाबी है। बिन मांगे चीज़ें मिल जाती हैं जो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह दीन को महकम पकड़ने से मिलती है। Allah SWT rectify for me my deen which is against of guarding the matters, और दुनिया क्या है, वक़्त से भी दुनिया ये लेती थी हमाशी, जहाँ पर मेरी माश है दुनिया में इसको भी आप दुरुस्त कर दीजिए। वक़्त से भी आखिरत लेती थी हमारी, और जहाँ पर मुझे जाना है बस मतलब वो आखिरत की भी जहाँ पे मेरा ठिकाना है, तो ये पता चले कि सारी दुनिया की दौड़ धूप और आखिरी में जहन्नम मिले, ये अल्लाह SWT ऐसे ना करे, क्योंकि जहाँ पर दीन दुरुस्त ना हो तो वहाँ पर सिर्फ और सिर्फ धक्का बाकी रह जाता है और कुछ नहीं होता। So Allah SWT may Allah SWT make that easy inshallah ta'ala, and waj'ali hayatan ziyadatan fi kulli shay, waj'ali ma darahatan min kulli shay, and बना दीजिए हमारी जिंदगी को and make my life a means of abundance of all good and my death a means of comfort and peace from all the bad things and shall the charity life. Amin. Ya Rabbal Alameen. Last dua, one of the best dua, and there is one more important thing in this dua, inshallah. Let's check. Allahumma inni a'udhu min jari su. And thus, we ask you protection from the evil neighbors. ومن زوجي تشيدني قبل المشيب. हम ऐसे स्पाउस से पनाह मांगते हैं अल्लाह जो बुढ़ापा आने से पहले हमें बुरा कर दे, हर शर से पनाह मांगते हैं। From a spouse who will cause me to age before my time, और ऐसी औलाद से पनाह मांगते हैं मिन वलदिन यकूनु अलैया रब्बन, and from the children who will become a source of misery and grief for me, and women married yakuna alayya azaban, and as a man say from the wealth which will become a means of torment for me. ومن خليل ماكر عينه تراني وقلبه يرعاني, and a treacherous friend whose eyes are always watching me and his heart is probing into my affairs, and إن رأى حسنة دفنها وإن رأى سيئة فزارها. And that when he sees any good in me, he tries to conceal it. वो छुपा देता है, अगर कुछ अच्छाई देखे तो छुपा देता है. Or when he comes across any of my faults, then my character will expose all to him. Beautiful duas है. If we ask these duas to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, alhamdulillah, हम अच्छे लोगों से भी मिल जाएंगे, और जब अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह फैमिली सपोर्ट एंड फैमिली आपको हेल्प करती है दीन में, तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह इट बिकम्स हाईली इजी फॉर यू. आपकी skills, your skills will be flourish, you will bloom inshallah ta'ala, and you will flourish inshallah ta'ala in akhirah also and in dunya also. When you have a strong family support, and alhamdulillah our deen is like full of examples when prophets had the family support, and alhamdulillah there are few exceptional cases the prophet their wives were not like supporting them, but still alhamdulillah when the family support is there you can see the change inshallah. So Allah SWT accept all the efforts inshallah, and then keep these advices in your mind. This is beautiful alhamdulillah advices Sister Julia has shared, then so many beautiful duas also. So keep this in your mind inshallah. Let's check how much did you retain and its impact on your memories inshallah. So Sister Shani inshallah will continue. And
सर आप रेडी हो जाए, आपके लिए क्विज देंगे सारे खाने से पहले. क्विज के लिए रेडी है. सो वी गोना हैव अ क्विज. अगर आप 1 मिनट यहीं पे रहे तो शायद
बहुत परेशान होते हैं. मैंने